to do that. Oh, now we're live.
Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone. Technical problems. That's crazy. Okay, so welcome to More Than Words podcast and interview. I am so honoured today to have Desmond O'Connor. He is our UK's #1 consultant for upcoming motivational speakers. So, Desmond, thank you for being a guest today on More Than Word podcast and interview. It's amazing to have you here.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here, Alison. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's crack on with our first question for you, Desmond. Can you share with us your journey of becoming a successful business consultant, someone who has inspired so many people to be a motivational speaker? How did you actually start your journey as this successful consultant?
Thank you, Alison. Great question. I started off in the dating and the relationship industry around about 2008-9. I had a very painful divorce, and I was in a bad place. I wasn't aware of personal, professional development. I didn't even know what it meant. It was round about the time when The Secret came out. Remember the whole phenomenon about The Secret? It was round about then. And I was in a bad place, and I started off studying life coaching. I liked life coaching. I was studying therapy. I was having therapy as well. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was going through the legal battle as well. So I wasn't in a good place. And I decided to study life coaching, qualified as a life coach, because I wanted to help everybody. And that's what life coaches want to do. They want to help everybody. And what I realized was you can't help everybody. You've got to niche it down to a specific niche area that you want to be known as. And I started that with single and dating and relationships. And I was helping single women to find love. I was having events, conferences, then I was having dating and relationship conferences. And it evolved from there. And then I realized that there was a gap in the market. There was not a lot of women speakers speaking on male-dominated forums, not male-dominated seminars. It was mainly male-dominated. And I used to have lots of events with lots of women speakers, and I loved working with women. I mean, I'm a passionate guy. I'm very emotional as well. So that energy connected and resonated with me when I used to have them speaking at my events. Everybody wanted to know about love and relationships, and why we chose the wrong person and all those things. So I'd have other speakers and male speakers coming along to these events. Then I moved on from that, and I started to hold social media marketing events. And, this was over 10 years ago, where Facebook was really big then. I mean, it's big now. It was like, people wanted to learn about how do we use groups? How do we use pages? How do we get more leads? And there wasn't Facebook ads then. So it was just, everyone was just learning and gravitating about likes and comments and all those kind of things. Then I moved into other dating and relationship conferences for everybody to come. I always had speakers speaking on my platform, and the speakers were evolving from newbies, like novices that never ever have spoken before, and they're going to on that platform. And the reason why I decided to want to do this, because when I used to go to these seminars, and I think everybody can relate to this, you go to a seminar and you see the big stage and the lighting and the screen, and you're thinking, wow, how do I get on stage to do that? Because I remember I used to be at the front taking notes, some of the free events, and I think, wow, how can I get on that stage? And so honestly, I never thought I would be doing this, what I'm doing now. And that's why you don't know where your journey is going to end up. What you're doing now is a high probability in 5 years' time, you're going to be most probably doing something bigger and better and completely different. And I never thought I'd be doing this. And my journey is not over yet. So when I started to do that, I thought, wow, how can I create that environment, that opportunity for people that are out there that want to go on stage and speak? Because what I've realized is that there's lots of speaker training organizations and companies and coaching, they're great. I'm not putting them down. However, they don't provide you with the opportunities to speak, because it's not well and good you spending thousands of pounds and being trained to speak and you're ready to go. Can you imagine? You just spent thousands of pounds. I'm a speaker. I want to go out there and I want to do it, but where do I go? How do I speak? And then that was the gap in the market that I realized that, right, I can fill that gap. And I decided to start with women empowerment, because it's such a big gap out there that the women are not providing the opportunity to speak on stage because it's predominantly run by men. So I decided to create my own version of that. I started that in 2015. And since then, I think my next one is in September this year. I think that's my 11th one to date. It would have been most probably 13 or 15 if it wasn't COVID. So that's what I do. I provide people the opportunity to speak on stage, share their story. First of all, some people just want to share their story to inspire and empower other people. Some people have spoken on stage a few times and maybe in a smaller setting, and they want to go on the big stage now. And then you get the people that are really out there speaking circuit and they want to speak more. And the beauty of all of this is that you'll be able to have a professional show reel of you speaking on stage. That is gold and priceless, because then you can use that as a marketing tool to get other speaking opportunities. Most speakers want to speak internationally. And if there's somebody abroad that wants to get involved with, you want to get involved with that, they're going to want to see what you've done. And unfortunately, there's lots of speakers out there, and I bet they are really great speakers, do not have that footage of them on stage with a big screen, with a packed audience, with the backdrop, professional photographs. You're instantly perceived as an expert when people see that. And if you don't have that, you're going to struggle to get really good top speaking opportunities, because people won't take you seriously. So in a nutshell, that's what my journey is. It came from somewhere where it was in a bad place, and now I'm helping to inspire people to be the best version of themselves. You know, there's people out there that have never spoken on stage before, and I've changed their life, because once you get on that stage and you do that first presentation, you go from strength to strength from there on. And most people have gone on to bigger and better things from that as well.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, you know, you talk about how you've actually, from your journey, your pain, you've made that your strength, you've made that a message, and you're helping others to make, you know, their journey mean something. And it's amazing what you've done. Like you said, I totally agree. You know, it's okay to say I'm a motivational speaker and that, but you have to have someone like you that can say that guidance. So talking about that, how do you help others? You know, these upcoming motivational speakers and they want to do it, but how do you actually help them to overcome the challenges of like self-doubt, you know, and the fear of actually getting on that stage? What, you know, they're the most common obstacles, aren't they, that they face? So how do you help them?
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people, they want to do it, but they do have this fear. You know, there is a saying that the people out there rather die than speak on stage. I can't relate to that, but I don't know who mentioned that, but I think it's like anything. It's like how, you know, you need to start small, because, you know, with confidence is lack of self-belief in yourself, and you keep focusing on the opposite of what you want to become. So maybe starting off by doing something small, maybe interviewing somebody like this is a good start online. So you're interviewing me. You've never been on a big platform like that before, but this will help your confidence even more, because now you're on stage, you're talking, and even though you're not on stage, you can feel those people watching you, but you can't see them. So that's a good sign. Maybe hold your own versions of this as well. So do your own webinars, run your own Facebook Lives like this, where you're talking about topics and taking questions from the audience. That will help your confidence as well, because this is what you're going to experience on stage. You're going to get people that's going to be asking you questions, and also you're going to learn more about you when you're doing that, because it might be that you find that you speak too slowly. You might keep picking your nose out of fear. You don't realize it. You may keep doing this or doing that. You just don't know. When I first used to speak on stage, I was nervous, and I couldn't keep still. I was always walking, always moving up and down. And somebody would say to my videographer would say, "Just keep still, slow down." So because I was conscious of that, because obviously if I'm moving fast, I will be speaking fast. So now I pause a lot when I'm speaking on stage. And then I look at the audience and I address the audience and I ask them questions, engaging questions. Another thing I would say, if you're just starting out, go to as many events as possible and watch what the top speakers are speaking about, how they move, how they breathe, how they interact with the audience. Because there's a certain skill you need. You know, if there's certain questions you want to ask the audience, you as the speaker need to know, why am I asking that question? Because you're then leading it on to the next subject you're talking about.
Yeah.
Also, manage the audience. Like, you know, what do you want the audience to take away? Now, there's some tips here. Like, let's say you're on stage and you're thinking now, oh, I'm worried about my PowerPoint slides mucking up, or technical difficulties, or I don't sound correct, or supposing I need time out for 30 seconds because I'm nervous on stage, or, you know, I've got wind, or I need some water, or whatever. This is what I do. When you feel that something's not going correct and you've got the audience in the room, you manage that. And I usually get them to share, ask them a question to share with somebody next to them, or go and find somebody in the room that you don't know and just share the question and ask it. So it might be like, what are you hoping to achieve from today's session? Or what is your business problem that you have in your business at this moment in time? People are going to talk about that. So you get to go and share. Then you've got 5 minutes to do what you need to do to get you back to earth, or whatever you need to do. Guarantee you the people in the room won't know that you're doing something completely different. So that's the way of managing it. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I'm scared, and that's one way. Another way is, I help with my speakers, is that I interview them like this. And then they give their presentation as if they were going to be on stage. We record it, and then I critique it, and then we go over this, that, and then each time it gets better and better and better, because you don't know what it's going to be like. I then, with all my clients, take them to the hotel where they're going to be speaking at. I put a stage up, and there's a screen there. Connect their presentation to the screen, to the PowerPoint. They have to click up, and then they're practicing in the same venue where they're going to be taking their presentation. You can't beat that because they're in the room. It can be very daunting for some people that turn up on the day, and they walk into the room and saw the big stage and the screen and the lights and all the chairs, 200 chairs in the room. And they're like, oh my God, it's going to be me. But this way, they would have an idea of it beforehand. They would do that. And what I usually do is, everybody that speaks at my event, we have a meal the night before. So that relaxes everybody. And then I take them into the room, they set up their table, and I bring them on the stage again, because by then the room would have been set up as it should be. And then you can see and feel the atmosphere in the room. So it's not so daunting for you when you turn up the next day, because it will be the next day your presentation will be. But you're in that environment. And I think that does help, the familiarity of that, because it raises your confidence. You're not as anxious. You're going to be nervous, obviously, but not as nervous as if you don't do any of this and you turn up. So that's what I help them with one-on-one. I mean, there's lots of other bits and pieces, but they're the main things that I do to help people to overcome anxiety, fear. And I guarantee, once you get up there, the thing about it is, I'll say this to everybody, you know your stuff. Always remember that. You know your business, you know your stuff, and all you're doing is delivering that to the audience. You have your slides on stage. You know what slides are going to come. You know what you're going to say. And I will say to people, practice this. Connect your laptop to your TV screen. Everyone's got a big screen at home in their house, right?
Yeah.
Connect it to there and just practice and practice and practice. Go over your presentation. Walk around in your house, clicking what you're going to say. Think about what questions you're going to ask the audience at what stage you're going to do. Don't worry if you get anything wrong, because the audience will never know you've made a mistake. Always remember that. It's all in your head. Move on. It's gone. Listen, the amount of times a slide is not correct, or it's in the wrong order, or there's a spelling mistake, or I've forgotten to say something, or I've made a mistake. I do it all the time. All speakers do that. But the audience don't know. The audience don't know. I'm not going to say, oh, where's slide 6 gone? It should be there. That's a mistake. You don't say that. You don't say that. Just carry on.
Carry on regardless.
And then you'll learn from that, you know. So yeah, that's how you get over that.
I mean, it's like today with us coming on here. I had to make sure that I knew the questions. I had to make sure that you were relaxed as a guest. You've got that limiting beliefs that come in, that imposter syndrome. You've got to go over that to get to where
Yeah.
you want to be. We're having a few technical issues. I don't know if you know, Desmond, but your camera keeps freezing. So every now and again, we're catching up with you. So, but we're just going. We keep going. Keep going. That's what we're doing. So, can you just share with us
Keep going.
a,
Keep going.
a successful story of one of your upcoming and one of your speakers that you've had, please? Hello.
I would say a client of mine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Like I
Can you
said,
not hear me?
there's a few
I'm going
technical issues,
to.
just freezing a little bit there, Desmond, but we're fine. We can hear you. That's the main thing.
I'll keep carrying on. Okay. There's been so many. Let me think of the. I think a woman called Kelly from America. She came over here and spoke at my event in America, my women empowerment and business event. She came and she spoke, and from that event she spoke at, I think she was invited 2 or 3 times back to the UK to speak at other women empowerment events. So they flew her over. She came up. I'm not sure what the deal was, but she came back over again to speak. I think me having the celebrity Rachel Elnor, the first woman to appear on Dragon's Den, she was my guest speaker just before COVID, I think 2019 or 18. I think she was my guest speaker. It was a packed event for my women empowerment event. And there's people, the thing about it is that when people speak, you don't really hear anything that much because they're just getting on with what they're getting on with. And because there's so many hundreds of speakers, I don't keep tabs on them. But next thing you know, I see someone that's speaking in America and someone speaking at a big conference that they've spoken of at my event. But most of them that speak go on to bigger and better things, especially if it's the first time they are speaking.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, with the hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry. Technical. Got a storm coming. That's what it is. We've got a storm coming because everything's going wrong. Carry on regardless. That's what we're saying. So, some of my viewers might not know, but I'm just going to say a little bit about who I am. Okay, so like I said, I'm an empowerment coach. So you were saying about helping people, with the self-doubt and overcoming those. So that's what I help people with. I help people to understand, why you have limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, self-doubt, lack of confidence, and how you can find purpose in your life, and how you can find purpose in your life and feel empowered. And that's why I call myself an empowerment coach. Now, and also, motivation. The motivation that coaching gives is unbelievable. So, Desmond, you've helped me so much with the way that you've, gave me advice and your coaching. Can you tell us what role it is that you think mentorship and coaching actually plays a part in helping upcoming motivational speakers? So it's okay for people to say, I want to be a motivational speaker, and they try and do it. But actually, how important is it for people to actually think about, maybe I need someone to coach me through this or mentor me through this?
Yeah, it's so important because you're coming you're coming into an unknown territory. And the last thing you want to do, and I've had experiences in the early days where I've had clients that want to speak. I remember there was one woman that wanted to speak, and she thought she was just going to go on stage and sell a high-end package and think she was going to make loads of sales. And it doesn't work like that. You need to build a relationship with people. You can't go on stage for half an hour and think you're going to sell a £3,000 package. It doesn't work like that because people need to build a relationship with you, and you need to get them on a conversation like this like on this type of forum, and understand their needs and understand what they're looking to achieve. Because, you know, in business, we provide solutions to people's problems. That's why we're here. We cut to the chase. If I was working with a client, one of the first things I say to them, what are the top 10 areas of your client's life that they're experiencing difficulty in? And they could list those 10. And then I'd say, what are the 3 solutions that you can help them with each one of those 10? Now you've got 30 tips. That's the foundation of a book. That's the foundation of an online program. That's the foundation of 30 video tips. And that's the model that people use to write books. So I implement that with my clients. So once they understand that and they've got a foundation, then they can go forward and know what they're going to be talking about and focus on the client's needs. What do they need? Like, I'm on this call today to help speakers to educate them about the speaking industry. You know, there's 3 areas that you can speak on stage. Only 3. Speak for free, pay to play, where, you know, there's some money exchange, whether you pay to speak, which is called a pay to play model, or you speak on stage and you sell your package and that gets split 50-50 with the promoter. Or you're a celebrity endorsed speaker, established speaker, where people pay you to speak on their platform. Now, if you're just starting out, forget about the last one, because people are not just going to say to you, oh yeah, you can speak. We're going to pay you £10,000 for an hour keynote speaker. It doesn't work like that. Have a look at speaking bureaus. You can see on speaking bureaus how much speakers charge, what their bio is, what they do. You're competing with, you know, those types of people. And there's lots of celebrities, well-known established celebrities, that get a lot of those speaking gigs. So you're going to have to start to build up your profile. You're going to have to be putting yourself out and about so people know who you are. People won't know who you are unless you push yourself out there. And the only way you're going to be able to put yourself out there is speak for free at events. I do it all the time. I've had some of my really exciting clients and connections from speaking at an event for free. I pay to speak. I don't look at it as paying to speak. I'm looking at it as investing in my professional development. Just like I pay for Facebook ads, just like I pay for a web designer, just like I pay my PA, just like I pay for videography, just like I pay for the hotel, just like you get the gist. So that way you're then putting yourself out there and you are bypassing your competitors out there. And the minute I got this, and I say to my clients, if you're, say for example, you're a branding expert, and I have this event I'm having, and you speak on stage in front of my audience, you're bypassing all the other branding experts, because they should be in the room on stage stealing these clients, but now you've stolen them. So then they won't be able to get any of those clients because you've taken them. And also with my events, we live stream them now. Before, we was just relying on the people in the room. Now it can be live streamed. So then people all over the world can see what you do. So if your products and services can be utilized globally, you're onto a winner, big time, because now people can connect with you. You get on a Zoom call. You could be in Kenya, you could be in Australia, Alison. It doesn't really matter, because we're still delivering what we are delivering. So having somebody guide you, mentoring you and coaching you and educating you about the industry, you will make a lot of mistakes, because that woman that thought she was going to go on stage for however long, and I think it was 20 minutes or half an hour, she never made one sale. So it was a waste of money and time. She invested in me to put her on the platform. I did that. I said to her, I guided her. I said to her, I think you should do this. I think you should provide a free coaching call with the people that are interested. Then when you get them on the call with you, you can spend 2-3 hours and go over everything you want. Then you will have a high probability of closing the sale. Not going into a room where there's 150 people in the room and you want to give a presentation for 30 minutes and expecting people to run to the back of the room and get their credit cards out and spend £3,000 on you. It doesn't work like that. And she got it. I mean, she did say to me, you was right, I should listen to you. Next time she did it, she got lots of sales from that.
Amazing. You've just answered my next question. So my next question is about what's the most effective strategies for networking and building relationships and actually speaking at industries, you know, but you've actually answered that. That's the best way, you know, is to actually work with someone that actually knows this area, this field, that is, you know, an expertise, who's gone out there, who's tried it, who's helping people, you know. So, and that's what you've done. You know, I've spoken to you, Desmond, and your advice is so valuable. You know, it's amazing how your journey, how I've listened, and I've read your ebook and everything, and what you've put in your ebook. It's just, the knowledge is so valuable, you know, and it's not as easy as saying, do you know what, I want to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to tell people about my message and I'm going to be rich. And like you said, you know, it's not that. You need the guidance, you need the right publicity, you need the right steps, you need the right mentorship, the right coaching. And like you said, you know, it's the same investment. You invest in ads, you invest in marketing and everything else. So why not invest in yourself by investing in someone like you know, and investing in a coach? And that's the best advice that I think from this today, is to listen to that. So let's go on to I've got so many questions. I'm going to cut them out. I'm not going to ask them all.
I would also, sorry to interject, but and also with that, Alison, you made some really good points. But
yeah,
as a speaker, the speakers there, what are your options to speak on stage now? And I guarantee there's not a lot. I guarantee there's most probably none, if you be honest, right? So what options are there that you've got to go out there and speak? Because, you know, nobody speaks every week, not even the top speakers out there in the world, because it's not that many events. So if you're not putting yourself out there with those opportunities, then what are you going to do? Why did you pay to get trained to speak? What was the reason for that? Because now you're out there and you're struggling to get speaking opportunities, and there's loads of events, especially in abroad, internationally. They mainly use the pay-to-play model. They're not going to bring you out there to speak on their platform because, you know, you're pretty, or you got a nice figure, or you got a six-pack, or you're talking about a topic that they like. I guarantee they've got a list of people that are talking about your topic. Guaranteed. Because you're not the only one that talks about what you talk about. Just go to Google and YouTube, you'll see that. But you want to be positioned differently. And you're going to have to invest in yourself to get your message out there. There's no other way. I remember one person came and spoke at I think it was my second event. They spent £1,000 to speak for the duration of the time. And they closed £15,000 worth of sales in the room from that one presentation. Do you think that person's happy? Do you think the people that didn't decide to do that wish that they did? Of course they did, because they put themselves in a situation. They're in the room. They put themselves out there. They got their show reel. Yet again, those speakers that are out there that are just starting out, do you have a professional video show reel of you on stage? Do you have professional photographs of you on stage that you can use? When people come to your website, have it there. They instantly see you with a headset or a microphone speaking on stage. The perception, therefore, is you're a professional, motivational, expert speaker without you even saying anything. You see somebody with that, you go to my website, I've got my headset on, I'm on stage. Instantly assume I'm a speaker because I am a speaker. And that's the image you want to portray, because people are always looking for speakers, and that's what you need to be doing. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, like you said, you know, what is out there? I mean, you know, for someone who's starting out like myself, you know, I've done my testimony in front of it was 800 people. It was 402 platforms, so they weren't all in front of me, you know. And I did my testimony, gave my testimony. It was amazing. I think I was buzzing that day, but that's different to actually standing in front of someone and people, you know, what it is, your services and everything else. Because like you said, you know, there's so many people out there. When I started this journey of, you know, 6 years ago, I wanted to be a motivational speaker, you know, and it just shows you how difficult things can be to actually get out there, especially if you're trying to do it on your own, you know. And it's got to, like, do you know what? It is such an industry that you need someone to say, right, let me guide you. Let me tell you the rights, the wrongs, what we can do, what we can't do, and what's the best way to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. And, you know, and it's you that's actually helped me to realize, you know, this dream, this goal is achievable, you know, but it's going to take a lot longer if you're going to try and just do it on your own. Because like you said, you know, you have this image of I'm going to be a motivational speaker, people are going to hire me, people are going to pay me, but that's realistic. That isn't realistic, but with your help, that goal can be achievable. That dream can come true. And that's why I'm so, so proud and honored to have you on today, Des. So another question for you. Okay. Can you share some key skills and qualities for women business experts that need to succeed in their industry? Because before, when we start this interview, you were saying about, there wasn't that many women. So what can you share? What are the key skills if you were like a woman like myself who wanted to go out there and start a business and be a motivational speaker?
Raise your brand awareness. Let people know who you are. If you're not out there posting, if you're not out there talking about topics, controversial topics as well, go against the grain sometimes. Don't be like everyone and everyone else. Interviewing people like you're doing with me now. I will share this to my network, and there may be somebody that may want to resonate with you, connect with you. Look at what you are providing. Don't be afraid to contact men who are putting on events like myself, because I know I speak to thousands of women, and they all say to me they don't feel that men support them as much as they should do. I can't answer for those men. I only can answer for myself. However, keep knocking on those doors. Keep posting Facebook Lives. Keep posting on LinkedIn. Run polls. Building connections. Networking. Nothing is not going to happen for you unless you just sit at home feeling sorry for yourself. Unfortunately, you need to get out there and let people know who you are. If someone said to you, sorry. Excuse me. If someone, I'm just digressing. I remember once that happened to me. I was giving a presentation, all right, and I was thirsty because you're doing a lot of talking, and I took some water and it went down the wrong hole on my throat. So when that happens, your eyes get water. So can you imagine that happened? Yeah. And my eyes were. And everybody was laughing, but I didn't find it funny because I was like, and then my eyes were watering, and I'm still giving a presentation. All the slides were there, and I'm like, So, sorry, I just thought that happens. That can happen to you on a virtual event. That can happen to you on stage. And, like I said, manage that situation. Get the audience to share something or do an exercise for them and sort yourself out. Get some water or stretch, or you might have cramp. You just don't know what's going to happen. So many things can happen. But back to the Christian. So, for the women, they need to really push themselves out, unfortunately, more than men, unfortunately. And they need to really be out there posting show reels, stories, asking questions, interviewing people, posting videos, and talking about, the relevant topics that want to put them out there, and work out what's your end result. Is it just about educating people? Do you want to, I know you want to get leads, but do you have a system or a funnel in place from the first time you put it out there? What is the next step from that? And what's the end goal? Is your website optimized? Is it all set in place to receive inquiries? Do you have the right CRM, customer relationship management, like Aweber, Constant Contacts, etc.? Do you have those in place? So there's a funnel in place. Most people don't have those things in place, and that's why with me, I provide just a complete business in a box. I don't just put people on stage. We help with their website, their logo, their branding, their mission statement, their video marketing. If you want to record professional videos, I interview them. They not only just speaking on stage, be interviewed. This is an interview, but I interview lots of women on stage on my platform at my events. One, an interview, people are interested in interviews. And two, it makes you look like an expert again. So people that speak, I'll most probably interview people for half an hour. I'll interview people for half an hour. And then after that, they give their presentation to the audience. A lot of first-time speakers have experienced that with me because it raises their confidence. So they get the feel of the energy of the audience in the room. So I'm being interviewed on stage. And then after that, they give their presentation. And that I've never known anybody that didn't work for them.
Yeah.
It works every time.
Amazing. So you were saying about, the confidence and everything else. I mean, if anyone said to me years ago, Desmond, that I'll be sitting here interviewing UK's number one top consultant, and like I said, technology has gone wrong, and everything else, and we're just carrying on, So I do apologise for anyone that is watching this and things have gone wrong, but the message is still there, and that's the main thing, So like I was saying, if anyone had said that to me years ago, I would have said they're crazy, for someone who had gone through trauma and abuse. My story, Desmond, I know you know a little bit about me, but I'll just tell the guests that we have today, so I'm a survivor of abuse and trauma, and I was molded to think and move and to behave the way that my partner wanted me to behave. And I was in a emotional place where I just didn't recognize who I was anymore, and my life wasn't my own. And it was when I became a mum and I looked at my child and I thought, I've got to be a role model. Something clicked. And it was, no, you've got to gain that inner strength. And that's what I do now. I help mainly women to find that inner strength, inner purpose, and find that inner happiness to overcome the trauma in their lives and to gain clarity and fulfillment and just to go for it. And that's my message. And that's why I'm so excited to be able to say to you, I'll be on your platform and I'll be giving that talk and I'll be sending that message out, because that feeling, that empowerment that I feel, it beats anything. I'll go through everything again just to be where I am today, because I'm bloody proud of who I am. And that is what I teach other women, is to feel that. So Desmond, finally, before we come to a close, can you just tell people how, if they want to get in contact with you and want to learn more, what is it that they have to do? Where can they find you? What's the next step from here?
They can just go to the website, which I'm going to share in the comments, is speakonstage.with.o'connor.com. That's it. I'll put it in the
you
comments
froze
now.
there again. You actually froze a little bit. Can you just repeat that again, please?
I'm just going to put it in the comments now. So they just need to go to, there it is. I've just put it in there. They can book a free consultation with me and we can just go over how I work. And some people may not want to speak on stage. I may just need a new website and a branding, all those things as well. They may want me just to interview them and share them to my network. But if you just go to the website in there, speak on stage with me, you go along there, you get direct access to my diary, and let's have a conversation. And if you want to speak at my next up and coming event, let's explore that and get you on there and get your show reel and get you speaking internationally and all over the UK as well.
And like you said, it's not just about talking and working with you to become a motivational speaker. You do it all. And I was really shocked and really surprised, but absolutely delighted that you said, Alison, I do websites, we do the branding, you're the whole package.
Because people that want to speak, Alison, most people that are just starting out to speaking haven't got all these things in place. They need a professional website. They need to know how to deal with inquiries. They need to know with the SEO, search engine optimization, which means getting you high up on the rankings of Google, social media. You want video marketing. There's so many things that are involved, and it's overwhelming for most people. And I take that away. We do all that for them. So it makes it so much easier. We would design their business cards and their flyers and their exhibition roller banner. Speaking on my platform, you get to exhibit for a table for the whole day as part of my packages. So then people can come and connect with you and you can take pictures with your table and your banner. Makes you, yet again, look professional. And I've researched, what do most people, speakers want? And it's all of those. Like, you may want to speak internationally. Not everybody does, but if you want to speak internationally, I have the connections to introduce you to get you speaking internationally. As a lot of people have spoken internationally based on my connections there, introductions.
That's my goal. My dream is London, America, and Dubai. So watch out for me,
Fantastic.
people. It all starts here today. It all starts with this man, Desmond O'Connor. Desmond, thank you ever so much for being my guest. It's been an honor,
You're
a
welcome.
privilege, and I have learned so much from you. Guys, honest, if you need the help, you want the advice, and you want to make your dream come true and make your goal achievable and real, then Desmond's the person to get in contact. He's been absolutely amazing. Desmond, thank you for being my guest. I
My
appreciate
pleasure,
you today.
Alison. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And have
Thank
a great
you.
rest of the week, everybody. And reach out to me and let's get you on stage and let me help you to create you into that superstar that you're going to be. It's very easy to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.